Alright, since I'm so good at fixing weed whackers now, all of a sudden I've only fixed 2. About to make it 3, maybe not, you'll find out with me. First thing I've noticed is this looks just like regular gas, and right here it even says it takes mixed. If they've just been running it with regular gas in it, that's probably not good. Check the spark plug, looks nice and clean. So I guess first thing would be to try and start it. Yeah, there's a choke, there's a primer bulb, there's fuel in the primer bulb. Does not start. Go ahead and check where the air filter is. This might come in handy cleaning the carburetor, assuming that might be the problem. Pour some in there. Oh yeah, she'll start. Alright, I'm gonna just pull the carburetor apart. Alright, now that I got me my star bits. Oh, look at that, perfect size. So it looks like there's 2 little screws here. Actually, they're probably super long and go all the way through the carburetor and hold the entire carburetor on. There we go. Yep, 2 super long screws. This would be our carburetor. Something's holding it on still. Might just be the gaskets that have never been broke loose. Oh, yep. Okay, I'm gonna pull the throttle cable out. I'm gonna let all the air from the fuel out so it doesn't start going everywhere. And I think first thing I'm going to check is the backside of this. So you've seen me do this on the other videos. Pull these 4 screws. Okay, now we're going to gently peel this off. Now we got to gently peel gaskets off because I don't want to ruin those. Boom. How did I get cut? I get cut somehow doing something every single time. Lawnmower or weed whacker. This thing goes up and down. This looks pretty clean. I should make sure fuel's getting through it, yeah. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna press this. Oh yeah, fuel's getting through there, if you can see that. So fuel gets through this side. So I'm gonna make sure all these holes are clean. This is usually where it shoots back at me. Wow, I got that in my cut. Now it's really burning. Don't recommend. Yeah, this went this way. I'm gonna put this back on and clean the other side. Hole goes on the bottom. 4 screws. Sounds like pressure's building up. Alright, we'll let some of that out. Now I'm gonna pull the purge pump off. 1, 2. Alright. Alright. We'll unscrew that one all the way. It doesn't look filthy. I don't know, we'll just blast these through all these holes. Yeah. Looks good. Now from experience of doing the last one, I didn't peel off this gasket. I don't remember if that was showed or not. I know eventually I did it, but I didn't do it right away. There's a bunch of stuff under it, and it's a kind of a struggle to get off because it's just stuck on there because it's never been pulled off before. There's this plastic film one. Put that somewhere that's not on the ground so it doesn't get dirty. Is this just leaking? This was just leaking. You guys didn't tell me? It's crazy. It's peeling off now, but it's kind of like glued. It's almost like glued on. Well, this gasket is most definitely ruined because it was like stuck to it. It also looks very clean under here. It's not even all the way off, but it does look very clean, which makes me also think, no, because it would have ran on that. I just got to peel all this off. Could be old gas too. Looks very clean though. It might be bad gas, honestly. I don't know if there's anything else under the rest of this gasket that isn't coming off. Thought spraying it with carb cleaner would help it come off, but it's really not. Alright, well I've got like the gasket off the best that I can. It's like really glued on there for some reason. But I think it's all cleaned out. I don't think there's anything in there. So I mean that's kind of what it looks like. Now I just gotta get a new gasket and put that on and hope that it doesn't leak, because it's very possible with all this other gasket on here that's not coming off. I've sprayed it with the carb cleaner and it's like kind of rubbing off, but not really. Good thing I bought a bunch of gaskets from the last weed whacker. Well, it was just a bunch of kits. That's a matter of which one. I need this one. I need this one. Gotta be in here, right? It's like the plastic film one. I don't think that's the same. I think it's gotta be this one. Even though they don't look the same, and I guess they were technically different weed whackers, actually. This probably isn't even... Yeah, no, because I have a plastic piece that looks like this. Here we go, right? Yeah, it's not the same either. And like there's also like this one, this one. There's just not this one. Well, for now, I'm gonna have to use this broken one. It's probably gonna leak, but that's all I got until I can get a new one, so. I didn't put the plastic film back over it. I'm gonna need that, I think. Alright, now I just gotta put these 2 screws in, check the gas, because for some reason that wasn't the first thing I did, and now that's probably going to be the issue thinking about it. I don't really want to think about it. Oh, I see there's a leak in this gas line. If I can wiggle the rest of this through, if I could pull this through, I might be able to fix this. I don't know how to run this fuel line through here either. I wonder if that's where all the fuel's leaking from. That would make sense. Alright, I have to empty out this gas out. I also have like this exact replica of this weed whacker, so I could probably pull parts off of that for this. I might be able just to swap the entire gas tank. This is a newer looking gas tank though. This one has working gas lines. So, I suppose we pull this, if I can. Come on, get off of here. Gas line comes off super easy on this one. Now I want to, I suppose, just take this one now. How do you even get that through there? That doesn't even fit through this hole. How did they get that even in there, though? Like, even if I push this all the way down, I could maybe get it out. But how did they get that in there? Alright, I finally got this gas line off. I think since I have these 2 identical, I'm just going to swap the gas tank, because I am never getting this gas line, let alone the fact the other one that dropped through back out. So I'm just going to take this gas tank off with the good gas lines, put them on this one, even though this one looks newer and better. And I guess these are also star bits. Is there only 2? That one, how's that one? There's one that goes straight through the middle of it. Okay, just to make this a little bit faster, because I'm starting to lose my mind trying to screw these. Okay, whole gas tank comes off. Whole carburetor is also off. Hopefully that doesn't leak. Setting that straight up. Cool. So there's a screw in here. There's a screw right here. Another screw down here. Now this one still has gas in it as well. I gotta put the lid back on this. This gas tank actually has good gas in it. That works. I'm going to take the nice screws and put those back in. I don't want to do those too tight because I don't want to break the gas tank. Here's the good one. I'll put the good one back in. Gas tank's on. I'm going to take the carburetor off of this one. Okay, spilled a little bit of gas. I got to put these on here, assuming these are correct. Purge bulb's broke on this. I'm also going to take the good gas cap. Yeah, they're both the exact same. That one's just nicer. Okay, they might not even screw on the same. Or I just can't screw this one on for some reason. That screwed on perfectly fine. Oh, there we go. Carburetor. Guess I need to change the purge bulb because this one's broke. So it's just these 2 screws. I might as well replace this whole gasket actually while I got that off. I guess there's 4 screws because I gotta take these 2 off as well. I'm just gonna remove this gasket stuff. I'm gonna gently pull this one back off. And I never took this one off to begin with, actually. This piece doesn't stay on. So this doesn't even stay on in here. And you can't use the purge pump or the purge bulb on this one. So I'm just gonna take the purge bulb off of this one. It's also, I'm just using this one straight up for parts because that one doesn't work. So just fixing it. Plus it sat out in rain with no exhaust and stuff on it for quite a while. Gently pull those off. Yeah, it's a little filthy in that one anyways. But one bad one makes one good one. So I'm fine with that. Oh yeah, I gotta take the purge bulb off. That's why I did all this. Out with the old, in with the new. See, this one has a thing, and it doesn't fall off like that other one. I'm sure there's probably a way you could fix that, but I'm not going to deal with it because I'm just going to use it for parts for this one. But if you do know how to fix that, comment down below, because I might need to know how to do that in the future. Okay, let's gently put this back on. Fuel line back on. I can do that after. Alright, fuel line back on. Now I believe I just have to put this back on here. And this is what I'm looking for. I think it just goes on this way. Maybe it goes this way. Yeah. So I know it goes this way because this gray lever wasn't allowing it to go on. And that's for the choke. Oh yeah, I gotta get the throttle cable back on. Like that. I'm sure that would have been easy to put back on in general, but do it while it's even easier. That could maybe be a future project if you guys want to see me try and get that one running. But for now, we're going to focus on this one. Air cover. Something like this. And the cover goes this way. All right. Prime bulb. I didn't check to see if that worked. There's a little bit of fuel in here. Not a lot. I can hear air. So air is escaping somewhere. So I'm gonna make sure these are nice and tight. These 2 right here on the top. I'm looking for air bubbles. Somewhere air is getting in. I think it's the very bottom where all the air is getting pushed out. Or there's just not enough fuel in it. That'll be the first thing I check is I'm going to add some fuel. Alright, now that I just added some fuel to make sure there's enough fuel in here. I think it might be... Oh, screwdriver. Might just be these 2 right here. Where the purge bulb's at. Something's not lined up right, maybe. Shouldn't be the gasket, but could be the gasket. Maybe it wasn't on all the way. So I didn't want to tighten it too tight. I just tightened those bottom 4 on the carburetor. Somewhere is still, maybe it's through here. Might be the fuel line, honestly. Make sure the fuel lines are all the way on. Still nothing. I mean, it runs. It can run. Alright, so basically I took this carburetor part off of that weed whacker. I swapped out its gaskets for this carburetor, and it feels like better pressure buildup. There's just no fuel going through now. Still sounds like air getting out somewhere. Unless it has something to do with it not being attached, which... I just took this gasket off and I think I had it on upside down. And I think that's why it wasn't priming correctly. So now I'm going to put it back on. Yep. Let's reattach the fuel line. Okay, something else still seems to be clogged. fuel lines on the right ones. Can do a fuel line swap real quick. I think with that gasket I peeled off, got stuck, or like pieces of it got stuck in the carburetor, mainly because I can no longer use the purge pump. So I'm going to spray carb cleaner into the engine, start the engine, and hope it clears it out for me so I don't have to take this carburetor apart again. Because that's how that works. Alright, I gotta get more cleaner in there to be able to start it. Or was that enough to do it? I need my straw. I don't know where that went. So I'm just kind of spraying it in the middle of nowhere. Otherwise. And it'll actually run. Alright, I'm going to spray it in as trying to start it. Oops, this is on the side. I think I got the fuel lines wrong. That might be my problem. Alright, time to take the carburetor apart again. At least this top piece. We're going to take the top purge bulb part off because that's where the fuel kind of goes. And it seems to be that's where it's mostly blocked. Pop these screws out, not lose those. Make sure all these holes are clear. I don't know where that's. This dang straw, dude. Okay, that clears that, right? But I think this one was clogged. I think this clogged, so let's pull this off. I think that's fine. Let's take this gasket off and see if there's anything under this gasket. Let's not ruin it this time. So I mean, if I spray carb cleaner through this, come out somewhere, not in my face. It's not. Okay. So what comes out through there? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, that seems all clean. Now we're looking back at this. Now I don't know how no fuel's coming through here. I'm just gonna push down on this and push the purge bottle. Nothing. Oh, there's not any fuel in there. There's definitely a lot of pressure built up in the purge bulb. That's like bubbling. Somehow there's pressure built up in the purge bulb. Notice this. Oh. Flipping it upside down builds pressure. So if I flip it upside down, is fuel gonna leak out of it? Well, fuel's not even going into the carburetor, first of all. I might have these backwards again. Yeah, I'm not really too sure. I think all of this is clear. I don't have a good angle to unscrew this. You'll just be able to push down on the lever here. In the spring. But I guess I might have to turn it over for that. Even though there's no fuel in the carburetor at the moment, because something's clogged. Or I just got the fuel lines wrong as well. It's also a possibility. Alright, somewhere's just not building up. It's just not building up. Alright, now that I got this plugged, there's pressure. There's no fuel though. Well, now I just gotta put it back together. Alright, that screw's not going in straight, so we'll start with a different one. Okay, cool. Wow, I'm just destroying everything over there. Time to test the purge pump. Yep, I was afraid of that. Pull some fuel line, because I think air is getting out through where the fuel line goes in, and from where the gaps in between the fuel line, and I feel like I can almost feel the air. I mean, something else has to be blocked. I'm gonna try swapping fuel line, because it seems I can prime it to vacuum it all out. I can't actually get fuel to go to the purge bulb, because this is pulling fuel up. Alright, I'm just taking out the jet, because that's what it was last time. So I have all this contraption in my hands. Now, I don't know what could be clogged. I don't know what holes go to what. Kinda. Okay, that seemed to be spraying out. I need to just... Oh, there goes the spring. I didn't lose it this time. Still got it. Alright, so this should have fuel go into it. There's a super teeny itty bitty hole right there. And when I spray through the fuel hole where the thing goes, it shoots out of there. I wonder if that's clogged. And instead of coming out somewhere else, I gotta take all this off again. Now, if I spray through where the thing comes out, comes through that. So that catches all the gunk before it goes into there. This straw sucks. It's on all of them. It's just barely enough to squeeze it into the hole, and then it just doesn't stay there. Now what happens if I spray through here? I don't think anything's clogged. There's like a little hole in here, right there. I'm gonna point with the straw in this. On that other side, there's a little hole. If I spray through there, wow. It comes through this hole right here. All right, I think it's not clogged. So time to put it back together. Oh, would you look at that? Now I just gotta put it back on here. Wow. I guess we'll just see if it works. A lot of pressure. I might have the fuel lines hooked up wrong. Or it's working. I mean, I know there's fuel in there, but it's no longer priming. It's not even pulling fuel through the line like it was before. Alright, I'm not too sure exactly where I left off on this, but I'm pretty sure it's just putting the carburetor back together. So I need all my gaskets. If I remember how they go on. It's like this. Yeah, no, it's not like that. It's like this. So now all the holes line up. Screw holes at least line up. Oh, wait. Now I can put the screws in. I believe that's everything that goes on this to go in this. This goes to a different carburetor. Let's move these because they're kind of in my way. Now I can bring this back over. I can pretend like I remember what fuel line goes where. Prime it, swap fuel lines. There is fuel in it, so something must still be clogged. Alright, I have this other carburetor from this blower I'm taking apart. I'm going to test it with this one. Alright, let me swap fuel lines. This will also tell me if this carburetor is not clogged with anything for the blower. Unless it's leaking out of the fuel lines. Or like the air pressure. Because it's pulling fuel through this way. I just don't know if it's getting in. Because it pulls fuel into this, but it's not getting into the prime bulb. Alright, I can't seem to figure out where this carburetor is clogged at. I can't unclog anything that I don't know is clogged. I have this new carburetor, so I'm going to stick that on here and see if we can get this thing running. So I just gotta shove this fuel line back into the gas tank. And I just have this tester thing. And I just shoving it through the hole with this. I can't get it in any further. And I don't think I can grab it from this end in any way. I'm just going to tighten down this stuff on the carburetor. I might have to get some more fuel in there. There's a little bit of fuel in there. We'll see if I can actually use the purge bulb to get fuel in it. Because that's what was wrong with the other one, is something's blocking something and the fuel's not going through the carburetor. So I can't prime bulb it. The gas cap's back on so I don't spill fuel everywhere. Alright, now we're getting fuel in there. Oh, I guess, does it start and does it run? Down the choke. Turn this handle straight. Yeah, it runs great. Maybe I'll go back through and try and fix that other carburetor, but I don't know what's wrong with it. There's something clogged in it. I think it has to do with that gasket. I peeled off in the beginning and somehow something got stuck in there, but I've tried cleaning it out, and rather than wasting my time on that, it's easier to replace the whole carb. So that's going to be the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more